Hello and welcome to Views on News. I am Jawad Tehami. Saudi Investment Minister His Excellency Sheikh Khalid bin Abdul Aziz Al Faleh is on a 3-day official visit to Pakistan, and he, along with high-level delegation, had a meeting with President Asif Ali Zardari as well as Chief of Army Staff General Sayyid Asim Munir, and also addressed the Pakistan-Saudi Arabia Business Forum. According to the statement by the President's office, the President and the visiting delegation underlined the need to work together to build a prosperous and peaceful future for the region as well as for the Muslim countries. Also, according to Inter-Services Public Relations, let me quote, the manifestation of one of the largest business delegations' visits to Pakistan reaffirms the enduring and the fraternal ties between Pakistan and Saudi Arabia, unquote. Also, addressing Pakistan-Saudi Arabia Business Forum, the Saudi Investment Minister said, let me quote, there are essentially no limits to what Saudi Arabia and Pakistan can do in the economic sphere, just like there are no limits to our friendship, to our bonds, to our historic relations, unquote. The minister also has confirmed that the two countries were presiding over 27 organic agreements and memoranda of understanding worth around $2 billion, which were to be signed between the two countries. Also, as a matter of fact, we know that in the recent past, Pakistan's Prime Minister Mr. Shehbaz Sharif had some very important interactions with the Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, and those interactions were basically focused on enhancing the economic cooperation between the two countries. A number of other aspects to this very important bilateral relationship between Pakistan and Saudi Arabia that is deeply embedded in history, faith, the commonality of culture. And this particular historic visit by the Saudi Investment Minister, along with the high-level delegation to Pakistan, what does that basically signify? To discuss all these aspects, we are honored to be joined in the studio by Mr. Abdul Jaleel, Senior Economist. Mr. Jaleel, thank you very much for your time, for being with us on the show tonight. We really appreciate that. On Skype at the same time, we are honored to be joined by Mr. Shahid M.G Kiani, former ambassador. Mr. Kiani, thank you very much for your time, also for being with us on the show tonight. We really appreciate that. Mr. Jaleel, if you allow me, let me begin with Mr. Kiani. Mr. Kiani, when we take a stock of this particular bilateral relationship between Pakistan and Kingdom of Saudi Arabia over the years, in the light of this particular visit by the Saudi Investment Minister along with a high-powered delegation here in Pakistan, a number of high-level interactions already happened. Let's first take a stock of how this particular relationship between the two Muslim brotherly countries have evolved over the years.
Say to you, first of all, let me just say Hotel Business Forum took place. I was there from around 9:30 till about 5:30 I was there. And I went throughout all the halls where the discussion taking place and the inaugural session also. Between Pakistan-Saudi Arabia relations, if you look at in these nearly 7 decades about it, in which our relationship, has ideological connotations also, and then political connotations and economic connotation. We have been the ideological connotation with religious, affiliations are very strong. Political relations are very strong, but this economic relationship, which is now a manifestation of the political and military, the leadership have brought. For example, SFIC has played a very crucial role. This is now, I tell you, a turning point in which this relationship.
Unfortunately, we are having a little bit of distortion. We'll try to reconnect with Ambassador Kiani, and as soon as we reconnect with him, we'll resume what he was saying regarding this particular relationship between Pakistan and Saudi Arabia that already carries strong political and ideological roots. Now this is transforming to another level, the economic partnership that will lead into long-term strategic partnership. Let me go towards Mr. Jaleel. Mr. Jaleel, now this particular high-powered delegation visiting Pakistan at the moment as we speak, we saw a number of high-level interactions between Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif in the recent past with Saudi Crown Prince, His Excellency Mohammed bin Salman. And those interactions were focused on the enhancement in the economic partnership between Pakistan and Saudi Arabia. So far, this particular relationship that has been very strong politically and ideologically, how the economic partnership between the two had been as far as the investment and trade is concerned, and then we'll talk about the prospects in the future as well.
You know, if you try to see in the light of the history, we will find it that Pakistan, Saudi Arabia has enjoyed a very, very close relationship in every phase of our existence, right from the beginning of our, Pakistan history as a Pakistani nation. What we see today is that the prospect of development in field of economy and trade are immense and unlimited, as the head of the Saudi investment delegation have said, and it is rightly so. We are very strategically located in this position. Secondly, we can have a very convenient, connectivity through trade and commerce development. Pakistan is one of that country which has provided a lot of manpower to Saudi Arabia to fill its market, and which is known to have played very important role in the construction, in the development and in building the Saudi infrastructure. And then petrochemical industry is another area in which Saudi Arabia have shown a lot of interest previously, and they have probably, we have also have got memorandum with them. And Saudi has shown its intention of making investment up to 20 billion then, if I remember. And this area carries a lot of prospect in Pakistan as well today, number one. And secondly, there is another sector which is which I would say that we need to develop a very close collaboration, that is agriculture sector. Saudi have made some very, they have made a major milestone progress in field of agriculture. They were very successfully, with the help of the modern technology, they were able to convert their desert into gardens as well as into a rich farmlands. This is the kind of, and then they have developed water technology as well. These are the area in which I think Pakistan can also make a lot of benefit out of it. Thirdly, Saudi Arabia is still running short of the manpower, and Saudi needs manpower, but we need to understand that now that the market requirement have changed. Now we have to raise the quality of the manpower, especially in field of IT, in the construction industry, in heavy industry as well. And that is an area which carries a lot of prospect for us. And Pakistan government should, they have made some policy framework, and I think that now the time has come that we should review it, and we should evolve a very sound policy for export of our manpower to Saudi Arabia.
Right, a number of very important points that you've highlighted. Let's talk about the first one that you talked about, the Pakistan strategic location. We have seen Saudi investment minister also specifically talking about the kind of location Pakistan has at the crossroads of different regions. How Pakistan can actually capitalize, keeping in view, connecting with Saudi Arabia, providing that particular corridor, being that hub of connectivity in this particular region. What are the dividends associated with that?
Firstly, I would like to, CPEC is one of a very important project, economic cooperation project, which in future will have a connectivity with the African market, with Middle Eastern market, the Arab market, and also with the West European market. So the Saudi Arabia certainly has, Saudi Arabia has already shown its interest that they would rather like to join our effort in this respect and play their role in it. Pakistan, is strategically located in the sense that we can provide lot of connectivity to Saudi Arabia mm, with Central Asia, with China, with Afghanistan is another, and and Central Asia remains it's a I would say a future. It carries a very rich future, rich economic future, because Central Asia has got a very close relationship with the China. Chinese has built a big communication infrastructure there, which connects them with the Western Europe, with Eastern Europe, with Baltic state, and with Russia as well. So I think so. In this respect, Pakistan holds a very key position, significant position in this respect. By developing a relationship, communication, network between Saudi Arabia and Pakistan, I think so. Saudi will also be able to benefit hugely from this prospect as well, which will bring connectivity to them with this with the Central Asian land and with the mainland of the Russia as well. And now with Shanghai meeting, you know, which is taking place here, I think that it will beef up these connections, these ties as well. And I can see a new world is going to come up very soon in this region as well. So the government has taken this whole, I mean, there seems to be a big news in this respect awaiting the Pakistani nation.
No, so specifically talking about the agriculture sector, you've already mentioned there's been transformation as far as Saudi Arabia is concerned, the modern technology, the introduction of that, also converting the desert into the rich farmlands. What's there for Pakistan to actually learn from that particular experience of Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, particularly when it comes to agriculture? And secondly, when we talk about ensuring the food security, or the increase in the population, of course, the worldwide as well, we see here in Pakistan as well as in Saudi Arabia, how both the countries can collaborate when it comes to enhancing the productivity and ensuring the food security for both the countries together.
You know, in this field, we can do a lot. Saudi Arabia too have shown a lot of interest, especially in our cattle breeding industry is one of them. Sheep breeding industry is another one, sheep breeding area, because Saudi Arabia is one of a very heavy consumer of these meat and the beef, and they rely very heavily from their import from their import. They have a special ties in this respect, and they import a lot of meat and beef, New Zealand, Australia, which are far off places. And if we are able to bring quality in our, you know, production, certainly Saudi Arabia will give preference to it, number one. And Saudi Arabia, you know, at one point of a time, Saudi Arabia used to rely very heavily on its imported food. But now, a major portion of Saudi, especially the Saudis, have made very much self-sufficient in production of wheat as well, and other agriculture produce as well. Dates, they have developed, in the desert, they have converted a date farm as well, which runs miles and the miles as well. So this is an area in which we can learn a lot from the Saudi experience, because especially the Sindh and Chulistan is the area where we can, you know, we can resurrect and we can also initiate and develop our farm industry here with the through the application of modern water technology and modern agriculture technology.
Right, let me once again bring in Mr. Kiani into the discussion. Mr. Kiani, earlier we had a disconnection. There was a little bit of distortion, and I hope that you can hear me loud and clear now. Please go ahead.
I can.
Please go ahead. Please complete your earlier thought.
I don't know, I forget now. But let me just state to you regarding this business forum. I can state, as I said to you, I spent the whole day with that conference, and I can tell you something very important. It is, I think, the success of this government also that is reach out to Saudi Arabia, in which they have been able to send one of the biggest delegations you can contemplate or you can think. And I saw the B2B meetings and the inaugural session, in which you could see very serious Saudi investors dealing with IT, tourism, oil, gas, minerals, you can name it, and they were there. And the B2B are people sitting across the table, having a very, intensive discussion as to how we have to move forward. So I think this is a success story, and also reflects what the Crown Prince, vision of, taking Saudi Arabia into the next quantum jump, into the next economic, power. This is a, one could see that they select the right people, professionally sound people. You could see you could see how they have come extremely well prepared. And when I saw the presentation being given by the Saudis in any field, you could see that I said the whole day, if one is impressed that yes, the Crown Prince vision is absolutely right, and he's training his people for that. And for us, I think this is the time in which we should be able to follow up, because when the agreements are signed, we should encourage our businesses to go to Saudi Arabia or to remain in contact with them and follow it up. Even if, for example, I'm just giving example, if say out of 10 businesses, 10 big people go there, even if we are successful in 6, I can tell you our economy will benefit and their economy will benefit. The other thing is regarding manpower, we need to encourage the vocational setting up a vocational institution in which we need to improve the skills of our people, so that we are able to market our people better skilled than what we have been sending in the past. So this is important, and I tell you, I was so much impressed seeing the Saudis full of enthusiasm, and they were genuine in the discussion which they were having with their Pakistani counterparts.
Right, with this particular collaboration, Mr. Kiani, we have also seen the Minister of Investment of Saudi Arabia has confirmed that there are going to be 27 organic agreements as well as memoranda of understanding between the two sides. We saw economic cooperation between the sides historically present, but this transformation happening into multi-sectors, Saudis being interested in agriculture, mining and information technology. What does that basically signify at this particular critical juncture when Pakistan is going towards economic stabilization, and then Pakistani authorities also looking forward to attract more foreign investment into the country, subsequently leading into enhancement of the exports to the outer world? How do you see this transformation in the economic partnership between Pakistan and Saudi Arabia towards multiple sectors?
I think we should greatly appreciate this Saudi delegation's visit, because it sends the right signal to future investors also. Those waiting in the wings that, okay, you like to come to Pakistan. Now this sends a very, very positive signal to other investors. And as I said, that the relationship between the two countries will enlarge, because I tell you, businesses are the glue which keeps the two countries together, because it benefits the common man on the street. It benefits the businesses, and when the businesses are benefit, they create jobs and employment. And we need our young people. You see millions of them, every year coming out of universities, and there are not many jobs available. This visit is going to have a very positive impact on our economy, provided we, as I said to you, we follow it up very, very seriously. And I think this government is serious in following it up.
Right, Mr. Kiani, you already talked about imparting more vocational training to the manpower, making them more skillful for the Saudi market also. We have also seen that particular specific interest by the Saudi investment minister when it comes to his trust, his confidence, when it comes to Pakistan's youth, particularly in the information and communication technologies. Let me quote him. He said that the key ingredient for ICT is human talent, and we believe in Pakistani talent. How do you look at that?
You're asking me?
Mr. Kiani, yes, this is a question for you.
Yeah. Let me tell you, I attended, as I said to you, the IT presentation. I was there. and I could see the presentation being made, one of the IT experts, Saudi IT experts. They were using IT in the oil sector, how that the AI and other, software will be used to improve the oil sector in Saudi Arabia. Now, this is some place where they have this thing, but they would be looking for IT young people coming from Pakistan and going there. For that, we need to improve the skills of our people in software development so that they can go and work there. Because the market in Saudi Arabia, as time goes, will enlarge, will improve. And another thing, our families are very comfortable in sending their children abroad, especially in Saudi Arabia, for many reasons, religious reasons, and then the comfort zone, a Muslim country. So, and I could see here the not only a very affectionate, mode of their interaction with our people. So I think we need to keep our eyes open. Especially, I said to you that all those agreements, MOUs, which will be signed, it is our government should make it a point to follow it up. Make small groups of people who should be able, or group of experts who should be able to guide this. I just saw the Minister of Energy, Dr. Musaddiq Malik, the manner in which he was talking to the businesses. I'm sure, and he said very clearly that the Prime Minister instructed him to to be there and to be there and to attend to all their questions, all their reservations which they have. And these Saudis, I could see from their body language and from the way they responded, it's a very, very positive development.
Right. Mr. Shahid M.G Kiani, former ambassador, joining us on Skype. Thank you very much for being with us on the show tonight. We really appreciate that. Mr. Jaleel, this particular area of information and communication technology, the kind of trust the Saudi investment minister has expressed regarding the talent the Pakistani youth carries with itself regarding ICT. Firstly, how heartening it is for the Pakistani youth to learn that the Saudi investment minister talks that we see ICT as a huge area where Pakistan has a nearly unlimited potential, and we believe in Pakistani talent.
As far as Pakistani youth is concerned, it has made a noticeable stride in this field of ICT, information technology and digital sciences. And I would say the private sector, especially, they were able to earn, despite all many limitations, they were able to earn more than 2, 3, 4, 5 billion up to that. And this is an area in which government is also making a lot of investment here. And I believe that the Saudi Arabia would definitely like to come forward to make an increased investment in this field as well. And for this purpose, I would like to suggest that the Pakistan, Saudi Arabia should join hands together in initiating a joint banking operation for so that the investment could be made readily available to the potential investor as well. This is the one area. Secondly, what I believe that Saudis and all Saudis like to fulfill the target within time. When they write memorandum, they believe that government will stand by its commitment and will try to fulfill all the laid down targets within time. And that requires simplification of the procedure, because our bureaucratic procedures are quite complicated. I would say to some extent the financial governance system also sometimes causes delay.
What about the Special Investment Facilitation Council? That is also been alluded to by the investment minister, that there's been an assurance of the red carpet treatment towards the investors coming here in Pakistan.
I think so. That's a leap forward. That would definitely help us in overcoming all these bureaucratic hurdles and the legal formality which hampers hampers achievement of the target within time. So this is thirdly, I would like to suggest that we must earmark a special economic zone in this for development, and one window operation should be initiated. That will solve a lot of the
But
problems.
that's included in SIFC, the one window operation.
One window operation. That carries a lot of hope, because if you try to see in and around, especially in Gulf region and elsewhere, even many other countries which are making a lot of progress, like even an African country like this, Rwanda, it has made a huge progress over here, although it has passed to a bloodbath, and everybody knows during 60. But now it is rated as one of the model state in the African country. That is what they have done. They have simplified all the procedure of the investment, and they have provided a very comfortable, secure place to the investor as well. And especially in field of IT, the field of IT promises very quick progress to every nation. And Pakistan has, I would say that yet we have to realize the full potential of our youth. We need to increase investment in this field, and we have to train more people in primary skill, in secondary skill of IT, ITC, and also wherever the higher professional competency is involved through increased research facility, that too should be provided as well. Some universities are doing quite a good work as well. I would say NUST is one of them, and LUMS is another country. Then in Karachi University, Quaid-e-Azam University have done a lot of work. And in this, the prospect can further be enhanced if the educational sector, especially the technical universities and the industrial sector, they create a cooperative, a kind of a partnership relationship among themselves. That's very important, because it is, as you know, in Holland, they have created a knowledge cottage system as well. That a knowledge cottage will identify the area, and then they will try to bring scientists, researchers, students, they will like to identify them, and they will give them an assignment, and that assignment would be sponsored by the industry. And every industry has got a future plan, and they can be taken into confidence by our researchers that how much they can help them in achieving those targets. And I think so this is an area in which we can learn a lot, and by having this successful experience, we will be able to increase the skill level of our manpower, and that is what is needed by Saudi Arabia. We are in a very tough competition with other countries in Saudi Arabia, because Saudi Arabia, is a very affluent market as well, right? And everybody knows that now not only India, there are many other countries. So we have to compete it, and we have to work in this respect by global standards.
So specifically talking about the mining sector.
Yes, this is unexplored.
There's been a development also. The Saudi investment minister has also said, let me quote him, that I am glad we have newly formed venture called Munnar between PIF and Maideen, our national champion in mining, and they're eager to start a number of initiatives. But the first one we hope to conclude in the next few weeks will be for them to enter into the Rekodik project with the state-owned enterprises of Pakistan.
Balochistan is rich in minerals, precious minerals and metals. The future markets will be starving for for metal. In addition to the petroleum, in addition to the petrol supplies, which is heavily needed, on which there is a lot of reliance of the industrial progress on it. The metal is another important factor. Lithium is one, iron is one, silver, gold is another one. So this is an area in which we need to work. I would say that so far we have ignored, or we have not done enough satisfactory work in this field. So that's a good initiative as well. In this respect, there are some, Pakistan has to develop, has to provide a technological framework for the exploration of the mineral industry. In this respect, the engineering university and the technical institution, they need to be involved in it. So there are a lot of gaps in this respect as well, right? And Saudi Arabia has shown a lot of interest in development of the mineral sector of Pakistan, and I think we should welcome their investment in this field as well.
So by looking at overall trade volume between Pakistan and Saudi Arabia, how the trajectory has been so far, and what is the potential, up to what maximum level Pakistan and Saudi Arabia can take the trade volume to?
So, Saudi Arabia, if you see history, I've always preferred Pakistan in many respects. But we have a very close social, cultural, historical tie with Saudi Arabia. And we have a strategic partnership in many other areas as well. So Saudi Arabia has always pursued relationship with them in a very optimistic manner, and I think we should try to come up to their hope as well. Apart from the economic, Pakistan can, there are certain other fields in which we can increase the scope of trade with Saudi Arabia. Textile is another one. As earlier I have told you, the supply of the meat and the beef, especially during Hajj season, it is, the supply for meat and beef, and it is increased by many times to Saudi Arabia during that season. And Saudi Arabia would definitely like to prefer Pakistan over other countries if we are able to come up to their standards as well, in food industry and food security. And then we need to also learn a lot from Saudi Arabia, because Saudi Arabia have made certain, in field of agriculture development, Saudi Arabia has made a noticeable, rather a very surprising progress, especially by turning their desert into a fertile land.
Your point is well taken. We are honored to have been joined by another participant on Skype, Mr. Shikoh Atif, Senior Economist. Mr. Atif, thank you very much for your time, for being with us on the show tonight. We really appreciate that. Saudi Investment Minister is here in Pakistan, already had a number of important interactions, a number of more than 24 agreements and memoranda of understanding in different sectors, fields are going to be signed between the two sides. Then the recent high-level engagements between Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. What does this particular visit signify when we talk about transforming that particular bilateral relationship between Pakistan and Saudi Arabia towards economic partnership as well as long-term strategic relationship?
You know, it really means the world to us. There's a couple of key personal interactions and relationships that have really contributed towards the successful sort of beginnings right now. Ever since April, Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has set some really key pointers, which were, you know, sometimes there are objections that are latent, they can't communicate, but we have as a country really hit the nail on the head. The journey from red tape to red carpet, that is really, really important to what we have managed to, you know, we have cut out all the red tape for the Saudi investment coming in, and we have laid down the red carpets. What Pakistan offers right now is, from an international point of view, mind-boggling returns on investment. Pakistan offers at this time rate of return of 14% to 50%. That is unknown and unimaginable in most other parts of the world. So Saudi Arabia is actually keying in on the opportunity that Pakistan offers. Although the couple of key relationships I will mention, you know, we have Minister Mossadegh Hussain, who actually used to work at Saudi Aramco for the foreign minister of Saudi Arabia right now, Mr. Khalid. And also what our sort of SIFC, the role that SIFC has played, and the guarantees that that section has given to the Saudis, that has really made the difference. And it's not only the $5 billion coming in the next little while, but what it projects for the future as well.
Okay, Mr. Atif, quickly, two important sectors. When you talk about mining as well as information and communication technologies, the kind of trust and the confidence, but looking at these statements by the Saudi investment minister, that they believe that Pakistan has immense potential, specifically when we talk about ICT, these two particular sectors, how both can collaborate to capitalize and take the maximum dividend out of it?
For sure. So the greenfield mines and Reko when I talk about the 14% to 50%, in the mining sector, the projected profit margin is 50% what Saudis are seeing right now. So, the IT sector, even though we as a country may not be able to optimize our own human resource potential, we have all heard that 60% of our population is below 35 years of age.
Mr. Atif, I seek your pardon for the interjection. Very quick last comment regarding this particular thing. Unfortunately, we are short of time. Please go ahead.
No, so just that there's a tremendous potential there. Well done to Saudi Arabia for being able to spot it, and thank you to you and your program for highlighting it in the way that you folks have.
Really appreciate that. Mr. Shikoh Atif, senior economist, joining us on Skype. And in the studio, we were joined by Mr. Abdul, senior economist. Mr. Abdul, thank you very much for your time, also for being with us on the show tonight. Really appreciate that. With that, we come to the end of today's episode. Till the next one, take good care of yourselves.